Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to February's monthly summit. Hello, hello, hello. So excited that you are here today. As you know, being a member of this very popular, very large group, we are here every single month for you. Yes, we have a lineup of experts here today, live throughout the day for you, specifically for you, because the women that you are going to hear speak today have been in your shoes. They know what you are going through. Absolutely. They have been properly vetted, so they know what they're talking about. They have the experience level to be of service. They are group experts within the group, and you see them quite often, absolutely. And I'm sure you have seen me. Who am I? I am Vanessa Cardenas, otherwise known as Understanding Ear Vanessa Cardenas. That's my handle in Facebook. A lot of people ask me, well, what are you talking about? Most people confuse me with an audiologist. Not at all. Understanding ear comes from my absolute favorite quote. Absolutely. The hardest things to say are the most important things to say. They're locked within, not for the want of a teller, but for the want of an understanding ear. And that's what I am. I am also a relationship coach. I am specializing in betrayal recovery, and I have been honored with being a monthly speaker here in this group. I want to say that this is my 17th time. Oh, I absolutely love the engagement of this group, the compassion of this group, the empathy of this group, the way that participants push each other up. They elevate each other. They hold out their hands and say, hey, I've got you. Come on. You can do this. And the wealth of information that is within, especially from the group experts, as I mentioned, who have been properly vetted. You'll notice that I say that with such inflection because this is a little bit of a touch button for me because I have been doing this work since 2017, and I have seen people come and go. I have seen all the advertisements for get your certificate in a weekend, 10 hours, only 10 hours, and then you can go out there and be X, Y, and Z. I have a real issue with this. I do, personally, on a personal level, because when I was in similar shoes and I needed support and I needed a counselor and a therapist and a coach and a group, yeah, I got taken advantage of. Yeah. Doesn't do anything for me now except infuriate me when I have clients come into my office who have gone through other people's programs and books and so forth and so on, and they're worse off than they were initially. No, we don't want that. We absolutely don't want that for you. And that's why we work very hard on a volunteer basis to make sure that this particular group on Facebook, this group that I'm a moderator of, as well as my own group, which deals specifically with betrayal on Facebook, are a container of safety where you can feel that you can absolutely post your question, your concern, your story, whatever is going on for you, and you can get some much needed support. And dare I say, from the experts, that you get concrete advice, that you get concrete instruction of what to do next and how to move forward. And yes, they are going to offer their services to you. Of course they are, because they want you to know that they can, in fact, help you. And yes, you will need to pay for it. But Aren't you worth the investment? Aren't you worth the investment? And that's why we here in this group properly vet our experts to make sure that they have the credentials to be able to do the work necessary to be of service to you. So you are here today to hear several different speakers talking on a variety of topics, all related to so much going on all at the same time. Like, how am I supposed to manage this? Now, we also have yet another holiday in front of us in a couple of days, and that one's a tough one. It can be, but it doesn't need to be, because sometimes all the things that we need to do and the overwhelm that we start to feel, that bleeds into this particular holiday that's coming up and things of that nature. So I want you to settle in, okay? I hope that this is a dialogue, okay? Yes, I know there's a screen between us, but I want you to know that I am not talking at you. No, I'm sitting right with you. And if I could be so bold, I'm holding your hand as I say some of these things, because some of these things will be a little painful to hear. Some of them you'll completely dismiss, and that's fine. You know why? Because that means that you have discernment, you have judgment, you know what feels right for you and might work for you, and other things that you're like, no. Yeah, no, not at all. And that's fine. It's absolutely fine. I almost encourage you to do so, because that means you are in touch with what's going on within you. Because this beautiful system that you have, this ecosystem, it's yours. And your beauty inside and out, we need to take care of it. And that's why we are all here to support you. So I want to tell you who else is talking today, because I'm so excited. I am absolutely going to make sure that you know what to expect moving forward. So yes, I did pick up my phone because I am using my system here to be able to talk to you. So I want to make sure that I know exactly who's talking. So I'm very, very excited about it. And I want to let you know. And it is, let's see who we've got. Are you ready? Oh, the anticipation. I love it. I love the anticipation. Let's see who we've got going. Let's see. Oh, I found it. I found the list of amazing speakers that we have today. So, as I mentioned, it's me. I get to kick it off. My name again is Vanessa Cardenas, and I'm a relationship reset expert. And it's the relationship that you also have with yourself. We then have Denise. Oh boy, you're in for a treat on that one. And then we have Lisa. Lisa's going to be talking at 2:30, and Denise is going to be talking at 2. So you will get a little bit of a break in between to go settle in, maybe write some notes down, maybe write some questions down, some things that prompted you and you were like, oh, I need to go look at that book. I need to think about this, whatever it might be. Or even better, do nothing. Ooh, that's a bold statement, right? Oh, when we have so much going on, I'm Vanessa's advocating to you to do nothing. Oh, whew. And let me continue, because there are a lot more speakers. Let's see who else we have. Oh, then we have Melissa. You know Melissa from the group. And then we have Rochelle. So quite a lineup of really powerful women to be able to guide you, to be able to give you some nuggets of wisdom that you can carry forward so that you have it. So are you ready to get started with me? Let's settle in. Yep, let's get kind of comfortable. Let's take a nice deep breath in. The power of our breath, absolutely, especially when we can do it all the way down to our hips and let it go. Oh, it's glorious. It is. And why do I say that like that? Because that's something I needed to learn. Absolutely. Oh, I had the shallow breathing going on, dare I say, for decades. Yeah. And someone, beautiful soul, took my hand, sat across from me, and said, I want you to breathe with me. And I was like, breathe with you? You know, a little too woo-woo for me. But, oh, she said, I want you to breathe all the way down to your hips. All the way down to my hips. Like, how am I supposed to do that? And stuff. And through that exercise of taking a nice deep breath in, filling that chest up, expanding your chest, taking it all the way down, and you can feel it all the way down to your hips, holding on to it. Hold on. And then let it out, because you're letting out everything else at the same time. Oh, it's glorious. It absolutely is. So that is for you. Take a deep breath in and release it. Alrighty. So what we're going to talk about today, yes, is when everything feels too much. Oh, everything's coming at you all at once. And overwhelm, it's not weakness. Not at all. It's a signal. It's a signal to you to slow it down. And I know you're thinking, Vanessa, yeah, that, I'm trying to get 15, 20 minutes, half hour in to listen to you. And now you're telling me to slow down? Do you have any idea the laundry list that I have going on in my head of all the things I need to do? I know. I had that too. Absolutely. Absolutely, I had that. And I needed to learn to slow down and to pivot, to delegate, and decide what's actually really important. What is it that I choose to do? Yes, we all have responsibilities. Absolutely. But you can't tell me that there are things on your list, on your mental list, that we might be able to put off to the next day or the day after, and then suddenly realize we actually don't really need to do it. Or that we can delegate it to someone else. Yes, delegate it to someone else. It is not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It absolutely is not. It takes great strength to ask for help. You're here. When you go into this particular group and you write a post, you are sharing yourself. And regardless of what the post is about, you really are asking for something. Even if you write a post and say, I'm just venting, you're asking for that opportunity to be able to get it out, to be able to get it out so that you can be free of it, whether for a couple of minutes, a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Moving on. Moving on. Absolutely. So overwhelm is not a weakness. It's a signal. Okay? It's a signal to reset your nervous system. Maybe, and this is a technique that I learned early on, okay? For those of you that are parents, or you remember when you were a child, Frog and Toad, the list. And Frog and Toad he wanted a list. Toad wanted a list, so he would write out a list of all the things that he needed to do. And ooh, the wind blew away the list. And suddenly he didn't know what to do because the list was no longer there. And he tried to reconstruct the list. So I invite you, because this is the technique that I learned, is to write the list. Now, there's a caveat to this. There's something very, very important that I actually need you to put on your list. I know. You're thinking, Vanessa, oh, there's so much stuff on my list. I mean, my mental load is just, ugh. I get it. Okay. And I want you to take a deep breath. Here it is. At the top of the list is you. Absolutely. You. Y-O-U. You absolutely need to be on that list. You need to do something for you. And I'm not necessarily talking about self-care. Not at all. Sometimes self-care gets weaponized as if it's something that if you don't do, you feel bad about it. I don't want that for you. I want you to put you on the list, and I want you to decide whatever it is that will allow your nervous system to settle, whether that's 5 deep breaths, whether that's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, whether that is a warm beverage, whether that is reading a chapter in a book, whether that's allowing yourself to sit and dream. Sometimes we've lost that art of dreaming. Dare I say, the last thing, sit for 5, 10 minutes and be bored. That is a word that almost seems not to be in our language as adults anymore. Kids have it, some do, but bored. Yeah. We always have something to do. We do, because we have that running list going in our head. And if we have a moment, what do? Oh, we reach for this. We do. We check our socials. We check our email. We check our messages. We are chained to this device. We don't need to be. You have permission to give yourself 5, 10 minutes a day. Yeah, there are 24 hours in a day. Yes, you should sleep 8 hours. Yeah, I get it. Yep, I'm definitely not an 8-hour sleeper either. But with that being said, okay, and I know that you have so many things on your list. I know it, because I had things on my list too. The running list in your head, okay? But sometimes that list in our head seems so massive because what we focus on expands. So if we focus on, oh, I have so many things to do, my laundry list is so long. When we continue to focus on that, it expands. It does. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You don't need that for you. You don't. The brilliant Steve Jobs, I heard this, I'm getting it third hand, so if I'm not giving proper credit, I apologize. If I am not crediting who said what when, again, I apologize. The story that I heard in one of the wonderful seminars that I took was that Steve Jobs, the reason that he wore similar clothes every single day was so that he wouldn't have to make that decision. He wouldn't have to make that decision. It was already made. He had the same black t-shirt or turtleneck and the same jeans and the same sneakers. And that was it. That was his uniform for the day and whatnot, because he didn't need to think about it. It was a one less decision. And he attributed it to that he believed, and again, this is the story that I got, is that there are 40 decisions that you make every day. So why waste one on what am I going to wear? That was his. Yeah, I like standing in front of my closet figuring out what I want to wear. Sometimes it's very paralyzing for me. I get that. And especially when your weight goes up and down, yeah, certain things don't quite fit right. And suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, why is this not fitting right? And that alone can ruin your whole day. Because what are you focusing on now? Wow, I've gained some weight. Like my clothes aren't fitting quite the way they used to. And then with that thought, because what we think about, what we focus on expands, that takes up our entire day. Now, there's the flip side of it where we put something on and it's a little loose and we're like, whoa, look at this. Yeah, yeah. Each of us is different. Each of us is different. And you on your list and whatever you decide to do for you, this is for you because we lose sight of ourselves. Our identities become wrapped up in our spouse, our former spouse, our ex, our new, our children, our stepchildren, you name it. That's our identity. We lose sight of actually who we are. Who are you? And that's one of the reasons why. For me, I use my name. I am Vanessa. Yes. I'm not so and so's mother. I'm not so and so's employee. I'm not so and so's ex. No, 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 no. Not at all. I'm Vanessa. So I would like for you to introduce yourself to me. Tell me who you are. Yes. And sometimes the most beautiful way of doing that at times, and I prefer this technique, is to smile. Yes. Again, we get so wrapped up in this device that everywhere we go, everybody sees the top of our head. They don't see our face. So I encourage you that when you are out and about, try to refrain from having your phone in your hand. It can buzz and beep and ding and everything else, and you can get that dopamine rush. Ooh, something's happening. Somebody needs me. And that's a very cautious thing that I'd like you to think about. Okay. And this is something that I advise my clients on. Because yes, every time your phone buzzes and dings and beeps and the song, whatever it is, okay, every time that happens, we get a dopamine rush, and stuff. And if we make an association with that, somebody needs me, that signifies, that starts to cement into us our importance related to this device. No, your importance is not dictated by how many likes and comments and posts and things that you have on social media, or how many messages you get per day, or how many emails you get per day, or how many phone calls you get per day. That does not signify your worth. That could also be part of the overwhelm that you might be feeling. Mm-hmm. And remember what I said. I said that overwhelm is not a weakness. It's a signal. And that signal might be, you know what? I need to mute my phone. I need to step back. I need to put an auto attendant on my phone. I need to decide if all of the followers and friends that I have are actually followers and friends. Am I chasing numbers, or am I trying to make connections, true connections? Because our humanity depends on that. It does. I'm going to give you a little side note, okay? But this one's important, especially for divorced women who are exploring dating, okay? I am convinced, again, I've been doing this work since 2017. Back in the day, we had Match, which is still around. We've had, plenty of Fish and several others. Some are more popular than others. Tinder is very popular now, so forth and so on and whatnot. I'm going to say something, and I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this. I know it, okay? But I really want you to think about it, okay? These apps are designed to keep you on it, okay? Because you're paying for the privilege of being on it, which means that they might not be putting the right people in front of you. Mm-hmm. Now, the problem that I have with this, okay, especially related to my clients, especially my male clients, because they just feel like they are just not, they're out there attempting and they're just not getting any matches. They're not getting any connections. They're not, swiping left, swiping right, blah, blah, blah. They're getting nothing. It's crickets for them. And it erodes their self-esteem. It erodes your self-esteem as well. Yes, of course, there are predators out there. Of course, there are those that are married and, doing this on the side. Those people I'm going to completely discount. I don't know the percentage. If I had to guess, yes, Vanessa is guessing based on her clinical practice, my practice that I have, the type of clients that I have. Again, not scientific at all. This is completely Vanessa's judgment on this topic, is that I would say that 40% of those that are on these platforms are really not looking for something other than the hunt, as I would call it. Okay, the dopamine hit. Ooh, somebody matched with me. Ooh, somebody matched with me. Again, these apps are designed to keep you on them. The only way to keep you on them is to not have matches. Okay, that's why they really encourage you to stay on the app and not go off the app. Granted, they do have justification of saying don't go off the app because of security reasons and things of that nature. Yeah, definitely. I mean, for those of us a certain age, we were, oh, you never approach a car you don't know. You never get into a car with a stranger. And now we have Uber. We get into cars just because it has an Uber sign on it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. There was one commercial that and you'll when I say this, I'm hoping that you have seen it, and if you haven't, I'm hoping I give you enough detail where it was one of the dating apps. Can't recall which one, but we're going to call it Match for the moment. No disrespect to Match. If they didn't do this, someone else did. Where a woman is at pretty much an empty bar, a well-lit bar area and whatnot, and she puts her coat on the coat rack, and suddenly somebody morphs into her coat, and it's her friend, and her friend says, make sure you tell me your location and your tracking. And then it pans to the woman at the bar, and her date comes in, nice to meet you, and you could tell they're on a first date. Okay, and then the screen pops up that says your safety is important to us, something along those lines. Again, I'm paraphrasing all of this, but you get the idea. Okay, so even the apps know that this isn't a foolproof way, that it's not. Okay, so you have to use your judgment. You have to trust your heart, your gut, your intuition. That's why we have it. You have intuition. Trust that. Because unfortunately, the people on these dating apps, they're not vetted. They aren't. Yeah, they might give their driver's license or whatever it is and fill out a questionnaire and whatnot, but they're not vetted. And vetting for me is incredibly important. You know this. You absolutely know this. Back in the day, we're going to go back to high school. We're going to go back there where, your friends would vouch for you to the circle of friends that the gentleman that you were, the person that you were interested in, That group of friends would vouch for that person, and your group of friends would vouch for you. Then you would go out on the date, and you'd be very careful on this date, okay? Because you don't want to disrupt your circle who vetted for you, who said that you're a wonderful person, who said he was a wonderful or they were a wonderful person, okay? There was a vetting process. Okay. When you go to a friend's house for a party or a social gathering and whatnot, and you see somebody across and whatnot, what do? You don't necessarily walk up to them right away. You walk over to the hostess and go, who's that? Kind of thing, so that she can fill you in or he can fill you in on who that is. You ask questions prior to having that courage or that flirtation. Okay. Because sometimes you don't have to go to them. You know it. You can look at them and look down and look over and then look back at them. You can play the whole game. That's absolutely fine. Why? Because you've done some vetting. Even just asking, who's that? That's a form of vetting. So you want to make sure that you do that. We segued completely off my topic, but as you can tell, I have a lot of wisdom and I am not a rinse and repeat. You will not hear me say the same thing over and over and over again. As I mentioned, I've been doing this, believe this is my 17th summit appearance here in this group. So I want to rein it in and I want to get back to overwhelm because that is the topic for this particular month. So I wanted you to be aware. So overwhelm is not the problem. Nope. It is not incompetence. It's not a lack of resilience or willpower, and it's absolutely not failure. Absolutely not. It just means that your nervous system, your body, your ecosystem has been carrying too much for too long. Nope. And if you are in a high stressful job or a high stressful divorce process, you experience overwhelm very differently. You do, because you're not falling apart publicly. What you're doing is you're tightening. And that tighten, think of it. We're going to do it right now, okay? Take your fists, okay? Hold them really tight into fists. Really, really, really tight. Oh, squeeze. Come on, you can do this. Squeeze. Now release. And you feel that blood flowing? Okay. All right. What happens to most, especially going through a divorce process, not this, it's this. And this so tight for so long without releasing contracts into this position. We don't need this. We don't. So remember when I told you that you need to be on the list? Release. Open your hands. It's okay. So there are 3 types of overwhelm. Vanessa, really? 3 types? I just feel overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed. There are 3 types. Okay. Very quickly. Cognitive overwhelm. Here, you're thinking way too many things. Okay. You are trying to make way too many decisions. You have way too many tabs open. You're in a constant mental scanning. You are looking at everything because you want to make sure you don't miss anything. I get it. And that's why you need to build an army of support around you. Yes, around you. Yes, and some of that will be at a fee. Of course it will be. That wisdom, that knowledge that somebody else is bestowing upon you to help you, to relieve you of that responsibility. Oh, in some cases, that's priceless. Second type of overwhelm is emotional overwhelm. It's the unprocessed hurt. It's the resentment. It's the betrayal. It's the disappointment. The third type of overwhelm is rational overwhelm. It's carrying the emotional weight of the relationship alone. Yeah. Even if you're separating, there still is a relationship. Even when you have kids, there's still a relationship. Even if you don't have kids, there's still a relationship. And again, it'll start to separate out, but for the moment, it might be like this. It might be hanging on as it starts to dissipate. Most people mislabel relational overwhelm as personal weakness. No, it is not personal weakness. No, I want you to know that it is not personal weakness. So, one of the things I hear often from my clients, especially my brand new clients that come in, that they have found me, because for a long time I was the best kept secret in Westchester, just referral to referral to referral, which I appreciated, of course. And then someone nominated me for an award and I won it, and I became the 2025 Best Relationship Coach in Westchester County, New York. Oh boy. Such an honor. But then, yeah, clients started coming into my office. A lot of things I did previous via Zoom. So I had clients coming into my office, and they would sit and unleash, release, and they would wonder why they can't push through. Why can't I push through? Why can't I just let this go? Why is this still holding me back? Why? Why? That's because our society, that's because our generational lineage behind us, our parents, our siblings, our friends, our coworkers, all teach us to override. We need to push harder. We need to work longer. We need to be stronger. Nope. Our nervous system does not respond well to willpower. It might at the beginning, okay? I'm not discounting it, but over time, no. Your nervous system responds to safety. I'm going to repeat that. Your nervous system responds to safety. So when we take that deep breath, when we pull our car into a parking spot and we take a moment before we jump out of our car and go do, that we take a moment in that car, we've turned off the engine, even once makes a difference. You can do it 5 times. Oh, you're going to feel that shift because suddenly you have reminded your body that you are safe. And those feelings of overwhelm that you have to push through, those will dissipate. They will. And the more you override this technique, the more you push harder and you work longer and you're stronger and you use willpower, the more you do that, the more your body pushes back. Yes. You have sleep issues. You're irritable. You shut down. You go completely numb. There's a song, Comfortably Numb. Still numb. Still just go numb. And then there's distance in your other relationships. Because you are not yourself. You are not. You're high strung. You're stressed out. You're overwhelmed. You are not you. You are losing yourself to this. And I invite you to return to you. That's why you are at the top of the list. So as I mentioned, my name is Vanessa Cardenas, and I'm a relationship reset expert. I get questioned on that quite often because I could refer to myself as a relationship coach, but This is a little different because I really focus on reset. Yes, reset. When we reset, we give ourselves three things. Okay? Very simple, and they're memorable. You'll remember this. We'll be long past this, and you've stuck around and you've heard me talk. You will remember these three things. To pause. Pause. And if you could take a breath, oh, it's even better. But pause. To contain. Contain your thoughts and your feelings. Remember what I said? What you focus on expands. So watch what you're focusing on. And then clarify. You need clarity to move forward in your decision-making process. How can you make a decision when you don't have that clarity? You're just going in circles. You're on that merry-go-round that just never feels like it ends over and over and over again because you don't have enough information. You don't have enough clarity. You're exhausting yourself with what ifs. What ifs? No. So we want to pause. We want to stop adding new inputs. We just want to pause. Okay? We want to contain. We want to reduce the emotional leakage that we have. We want to contain it. And then we want to clarify what exactly needs your attention right now. And not everything is urgent. Okay? One of the things in everything related to fraud, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but hopefully this example explains this. Okay? A lot of things we hear about fraud, credit cards, bank statements, everything else. What do they tell you? If somebody is urgently asking you for funds, there's an issue. Okay? Because urgency is not everything. And if it doesn't feel right to you, then pause, contain, clarify. Because the overwhelm that you're feeling comes from treating every discomfort like it's an emergency. Overwhelm often comes from treating every discomfort as if it is an emergency. You are stressing out your body, and in turn, it's stressing you out, and it just becomes a vicious cycle that goes around and around and around. You have permission to step off the merry-go-round. So I want to talk about the quiet cost of unmanaged overwhelm. If you decide to do nothing, yeah, I listened to Vanessa, I got it, whatever kind of thing, and you dismiss it, okay. Unmanaged overwhelm doesn't impact productivity. Okay? Just because you check off all these things at the end of the day, I did this and 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 this. There are other things that it's doing behind the scenes. Number one, it's eroding intimacy. You're like, whoa, hold on a second. I don't want to be intimate with my ex. Okay? I get that. Okay? Eventually, at some point, you are going to want to date and fall in love again and have that euphoric experience. But if you're in a constant state of overwhelm, it's going to erode that kind of intimacy. It's also going to erode self-trust. You will no longer trust yourself. And that's the worst of all, is not trusting yourself. Because you are your best advocate. And if you don't trust yourself to have your best interest at heart, where are you? And it makes you reactive instead of intentional. I want you to be intentional, not only with your time, with who you are, with your funds, with your family, with your friends, with your job. I want you to be intentional. Mm-hmm. And over time, if you do nothing, it becomes your identity. Yes. Your overwhelm becomes your identity. It's said in whispered corners, oh, that's so-and-so's mom. She's always stressed out. Kind of thing. You don't want that. You also don't want to look in the mirror and fast forward. Suddenly it's 10 years later and you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? Because you've been living in a constant state of overwhelm. So that's the quiet cost of unmanaged overwhelm. And if you might want to make excuses. I'm just an anxious person. Okay. I'm just bad at handling stress. And I'm going to push back. And I'm going to say no. No on both fronts. And I know, I get it. I know. I get a lot of pushback when I say that. No, you're overwhelmed and you're overloaded. You are overloaded. It is time to put down some things. It is time to delegate. It is time to decide what's actually important and what isn't. What's worthy of your time, energy, and funding. And this overwhelm and this overload, it is solvable. It is. When you can breathe and really think about and list them out, pen to paper, list all of the responsibilities that you have. And I know initially, oh my gosh, Vanessa, you're killing me. That's going to be such a long list. I get that. But then we start to categorize them. What exactly are they? What are some that are now, but not forever? Okay? Might be a situation where your child you have to drop off at daycare after school or whatever it might be. But in 2 years, they're going to be driving. There's so many different circumstances. What your life is right at this moment is not forever. Yes, you will forever be a mother. Okay? You will forever be you. But almost everything else is not forever. I want you to remember that. And I want you to find peace with that. So in closing, I want to let you know that overwhelm is not, it is not a verdict on your capacity. Absolutely not. It's feedback about your limits. And limits are not weakness, they're structure. I want you to remember that. So overwhelm is not a verdict on your capacity. It's feedback about your limits. And limits are not weakness, they are structure. So let's get some structure into your life so that your life becomes manageable and that you get to live your life by your own design. Now that's glorious. So thank you so much for spending your lunch hour with me. If you're Eastern Standard Time and you're watching this, thank you so much for joining live. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. I do appreciate it. It will be published over on YouTube as well, because as you know, Facebook only allows for the videos to be in history for 30 days. So it will be available over on YouTube. If you are curious about what else I have talked about, wow, Vanessa had a lot of good things to say, and I took down a lot of notes, and I'm curious what she's said before. My previous summit appearances are over on my YouTube channel as well. I'll throw that into the comments so that you have that. Again, if you click on my name, Understanding Ear, Vanessa Cardenas, you'll get all my links and a little bit more about me so that you can see what I'm all about and who I am and what I exactly do. But for today, I'm here for you. Know that you are the most beautiful creature because you are as unique as your fingerprint. And what I want for you is to live your life by your own design, with purpose and on purpose, without overwhelm. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much.